right, folks. Welcome to Just Plain Living. Thank you, Julia, for your song and dance before we open this thing up.
Have you ever noticed how she doesn't want to waste it? So, you know, the credits play for about 2.5 minutes. So it's only in that last 20 seconds that Julia tries to get us to wake up and act like we're having fun. So.
Well, we are having fun.
It's always good to be here. It's good for me to be alive at this stage
Oh,
of my
yeah,
life.
sure is. I know Jimmy and I and Fran, and along with a lot of probably you other folks out there, with the change in the temperature and the fall, I don't know what I say last night, Jimmy. The recipe is ragweed, moisture, and a cold breeze, and you're sick, and you're sick. And tell them what you think, how you think you got it.
I think I got it from those little germ magnets over at Robert E. Lee School, where I was filming, one day last week.
And here I am between both of you.
Yeah.
Well, I think I'm doing better though.
But by the time Peggy leaves, your nose will be as red as that scar.
Where's the Lysol spray?
Hand sanitizer. There
I
you
use
go.
it now. You know, I used to not worry about stuff like that, but I keep hand sanitizer in places these days.
In places, there you go.
I do, ready to put it on.
Well, it was a big weekend around here.
Sounds like it was packed.
Tullahoma. Dustin Lynch was here along with numerous other people. We don't any of the rest of them be overshadowed by his ascension to stardom.
I know,
but
it is great.
It is a great thing. Valerie Buckner and Pop Rocks were here Friday night and tore it down like they always do.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she's an incredible entertainer. She has been ever since she was about 12.
Yeah.
You know. So that's a band out of Knoxville, and of course some of the regular bands around played at the 41A Festival. But Saturday night when Dustin came on stage, I don't know, I'd say there's probably 10,000 people downtown.
That's awesome.
Unbelievable. That's obviously the biggest crowd ever for that event. But
it was. They were. I was standing next to someone and said, "How many people you think there are here?" He was a engineer type guy, and he said, "Okay, this block is so many feet long, and it's about so far from the front of the buildings to the railroad track. A person takes 2 square feet." And he, in his mind, divided it out. So it's between 9,000 and 10,000.
Yeah,
that's great.
Well, you were fortunate that you were
standing next to somebody with some brains.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
Excuse me. I'll probably be doing that a lot today because it's tough.
And I wouldn't doubt it either, because if you recall, when we built the new lounge at the Legion back in the early '90s, we planned for it to seat like 300 people, I believe, or something. That's how many seats we had. But when the fire marshal came in and checked it out, it was like, okay, this thing will seat. You can put like 800 people in this thing. I guess they figure it if you're standing up, wall to wall. So you need to do this, and this to come into compliance. So anyway,
and you know, but there's a difference between a normal Friday night's dining and bar traffic at the Legion and the beach party.
Yeah,
that's sort of like downtown Tullahoma on a normal day versus 41A Festival.
Well, we always figured, or at least John's philosophy was, okay, if they say this is rated for 800 people, that's how many we're putting in here. So
open the doors, let them in. We don't
open the doors and let them stand on the periphery. You know.
Yeah.
They were listening to the music from the other side of the railroad tracks in the park.
Yeah.
Of course, Julia and Pete, they live on Washington Street.
They're listening from their house.
They're listening from the front porch. Having refreshments whenever they want.
I know.
Yeah, I think Julia's
really
going to sell admission next year. You know.
Sells parking spaces.
Yeah.
But that, and then Jamie Johnson was down in Normandy, and evidently had a great show down there. He and Jesse Coulter and Waylon's band played on Saturday night and had a fundraiser for cancer down there. One of the cancers, I forget which one it is, because Nikki, who owns the River Cafe, has battled cancer for the past several years.
And she was one that was manager for Waylon Jennings?
Yeah, she was Waylon's business manager.
Yeah, okay.
So, and that's why Jesse hangs around down in Normandy. I saw Jesse on the road walking toward George Dickel one day. I was driving through there, and she was just out walking.
She walked down there and crawled back.
No, Jessie's in good
I'm
enough
kidding.
shape. She can walk down there and
kidding, I
walk back.
know.
Oh, you were talking about
I think she was referring to the Dickel.
the
Yeah,
Dickel.
I was,
Oh, okay. But yeah, Tullahoma won the homecoming game
Isn't that
against
great?
Franklin County.
Yeah.
I know, everything like
and
that.
probably weren't expected to win that game going in, were they? Or,
Well, you know, Franklin County has a good football team.
yeah, they came in at 4-1. So
Yeah.
MTSU beat Georgia Tech.
you know, I actually saw part of that game. That was phenomenal. I kept thinking, I can't believe this is happening. You
I
know,
know.
I'm not sure. I don't have any knowledge of how that works. But usually, you take a team like MTSU, who plays a Georgia Tech, who's big in the ACC. Georgia Tech would pay them like $500,000 or somewhere in that neighborhood. Come on down and play us. And,
Right.
And they expect for you to lose if they pay you
Exactly.
$500,000.
I think
Roll
it's
over.
exciting.
Take a fall, take a dive.
That ain't what happened.
Yeah, way to go, MTSU.
Yes, absolutely.
Great.
Of course, they're in the SEC now, aren't they?
No, they're in them. I believe
Or
it's
they're
in
in Division One.
They're a Division
They're
One
in
school,
Division
which
One.
is the same
Yeah, that's right, not the
classification.
SEC.
But
I actually watched Nebraska beat Wisconsin. That was a great game.
I'm
you
impressed.
surprised?
I'm impressed. I am
Would you
impressed.
watch
Can you believe it?
Nebraska and Wisconsin?
I don't know. It seemed like a great game. Wisconsin was way ahead, and then Nebraska came through and won. I don't know about all the plays and all that, but I was there in spirit.
That's funny.
Yeah.
You know, and
That's funny.
I was impressed with UT. They the Tennessee Vols. I expected them to get totally blew away by Georgia, but they were in there at the end with a chance to win.
And
Right to
scored
the
just a little
finish.
bit less than 100 points in that ball game.
Yeah, unbelievable.
There were some ball games. There was some team won 70 something to 50 something.
Good
I mean,
grief.
120 points or something like
Was that not a basketball game?
Well, it sounded like a basketball game to me.
It did, and you know, in the
Yeah.
UT Georgia game, the 60 points they both scored. It was tied 30-30 at the half. I think it was some kind of record for SEC points scored in the first half.
In the first half.
Yeah, by both teams.
So just, I mean, so much going on, and you know, it just never stops around here. Just because we had one big weekend doesn't mean we'll have another big
We're
weekend.
having one this weekend. Valerie Smith and
Liberty Pike.
Liberty Pike will be at South Jackson Civic Center Saturday night. They'll be doing educational outreach programs during the day on Friday.
On Friday,
And Saturday night at 7:30.
7:30. Need to
They
go
will
see
hit
that.
our stage, and they've traveled worldwide.
Valerie's going to be here today.
I know. I should leave this alone.
Well,
let her
no,
talk
we
about
can
it.
talk about it now and talk about it then.
I'm just so pleased that she's coming here. And we're going to have Jeremy on with the dog. The dog's asleep right now, but he'll wake up and come alive.
Yeah, that's the deal we have with
Yeah.
the dog has a contract to be able to sleep
I know,
prior to
look
coming
at him. He's so cute.
prior to coming on.
Something else we're going to have on the show today is the homecoming court,
Oh my, the beauties.
the beauties.
They
And I
are.
tell
They
you
are
what,
beautiful girls.
one of the most touching things that I've seen in a long time is after that ball game the other night, Caitlin Olive, who was the homecoming queen, had her shoes off and had her dress hiked up, and she was running across that field to find her daddy
Yeah,
after winning that ball game to hug him.
That is
Yeah.
so
And I
sweet,
hope
yeah.
somebody got a picture of that because
That's
it was
beautiful.
absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, that is
And
a
John
great
said,
moment.
I was talking to him about that, and he said, you know, she's done that ever since she was a little bitty girl. And he said, I would have to hold her. She would find me, crawl up my leg, and when I was talking to the team when she was young, I'd have to
There she
hold
was.
her
yeah.
to talk to the team. And I mean, he said she's been doing that forever.
And
Yeah.
Isn't it
And
great
that
that
was-
she represented the homecoming court as
Yes,
queen?
and
That's
that
awesome.
they won that ball game.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
That they won
And
that
you know,
ball game.
Caitlin is one of our Saturday news anchors too, so we're
Oh,
pleased to
yeah.
have her helping us here at Channel 6 as well.
She is probably one of the best we've ever had do that. And I was talking to John about it. You know, his children are all one thing that they have, and Caleb catches 2 or 3 balls a game, and it's always in a crucial situation, and there's always people hanging all over him and arms flying, and he makes the catch. Those kids have incredible focus.
Yeah.
And she does that. When she comes in to do that news over there, she
Her
locks
brain
in,
is on it, yeah.
bang. You know, she locks in and absolutely knocks it out of the park.
That's one of the secrets of success.
It certainly
Yeah, and it's one of the advantages of you know, your daddy being a football coach, a good football coach, a great football coach, And I think his daddy was a Baptist preacher, so I'm sure that there's a lot of
focus there.
There's a lot of focus there. Yes, absolutely.
A lot of focus going on. Are you sure?
Time goes by when we're having fun.
Manchester just
I
finished.
was hoping more time had come.
Oh.
We're struggling.
Are we struggling? But Manchester just finished a run of Mice and Men, and I'm sorry that I didn't get to go see it, but I hear it was awesome and very well done.
Well, you should have done that instead of watching the Wisconsin-Nebraska football game.
I've been having trouble with my knees, so I've just kind of been sitting on the couch. Hopefully it'll get better.
There was I don't know whether we're going to have it on this show or not. We might not. But there was a annual membership meeting at the Fine Arts Center this past week where 2 new board members were elected.
Good.
And so we'll have a report on that a little bit later on. And everything's going well over there.
There's a lot of good things going on at the Arts Center, and I hope people will go out and support the artists and the administration that's making it work.
And South Jackson,
South Jackson.
Arts are society. I forget, some smart person wrote one time, society is defined by its art.
I think so.
The level of culture in the society you're living in is defined by the art that is created during that time.
And in your community, and if you support it.
And we're very fortunate here.
We really are.
Fortunate.
We have free things going on. We have things where you can come sit down, like at the Civic Center, and just relax and watch a show. There's so much going on in Shelbyville, Manchester, Sparta, wherever.
It's all around.
All around. McMinnville. We need to.
Bell Buckle.
Absolutely.
Hey, remember Bell Buckle this weekend starting this weekend, they are going to start having their buffet at the banquet hall.
First Sunday
every month. So, and if you were fortunate enough last night on Tennessee Traveler to get one of those coupons, 11 to 3.
11 till 3.
11 to 3. So we'll be talking about that more a little bit later as well. We'll be right back after these few commercial messages.
Mark, you've won just about everything there is to win in racing. What's next?
I'd like more people to know about ER Extra.
The emergency room at Harton Regional Medical Center?
I just want them to get the best care they can get.
That just gets me right here, Mark.
Maybe you'd like to pay them a visit.
ER Extra at Harton Regional Medical Center.
ER Extra. Extra fast, extra easy, extra great.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
When you see the sign, The Main Event, take a close look inside at a hair studio that offers services by some of the best master stylists in Middle Tennessee. These stylists offer a list of services that compete with large city salons, from trendy cuts for men, women, and children to the latest color techniques, including highlights and bold color accents. Other services offered include permanent hair weaving and relaxing to formal hairstyle for that special occasion. You can also give yourself a very special treat with a full makeover, including full body waxing. For your convenience, we are open Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. until the last client leaves happy. Call and make your appointment at 931-571-8682 or stop by our Tullahoma location at 207 North Jackson Street. Pamper yourself at The Main Event today.
How long has it been since you raced a cheetah? Are your tornado creating skills getting rusty? Tired of being the only one in your neighborhood who hasn't built a dinosaur? Sounds like it's time to visit the Hands-On Science Center. The Hands-On Science Center is an indoor science playground. In this museum, please touch is the rule. Join us for weekly science demonstrations on space, lasers, lizards, rocks, and a whole lot more. No two visits are ever the same, so visit often to see our ever-changing exhibits and demonstrations. The Hands-On Science Center, 101 Mitchell Boulevard in Tullahoma.
welcome back to Just Plain Living. I'm so glad I'm back with the animal shelter. We have on there as a guest today, Jeremy. I don't feel like you're much of a guest. You're just a regular. We love having you.
Yeah, once a month.
You're a great guest, and he's brought with him Buckley. And Buckley needs a home.
Yes, he's
Buckley just about a year old.
He's about a year. Yeah, he's a beagle mix, but he dominates the beagle.
Looks more like a beagle. Yeah.
Yeah, he dominates the
And
beagle.
he's so sweet. He's been out there laying on the floor asleep, being such a good dog.
Yeah, he just needs some loving is all.
And he's already been neutered or whatever.
He has not, but we will pay for a free neuter
But you
for him.
pay for it.
Yeah.
And he's ready to be adopted.
Yes, he's definitely ready to go. We've had him for a couple months actually.
Yeah.
He's been unclaimed he was a stray when we found him. Nobody's come to claim him.
Nobody's claimed him, and he's very gentle. I can tell that he's not a wild dog.
No.
So he would make a wonderful pet.
Yes, he likes
Mr.
laying.
Buckley.
He likes laying in your lap, and
Yeah.
he likes
to be stroked.
And he walks well on a leash.
Okay, I think we've got Bark in the Park coming up.
Yes, that is coming up this Saturday. It's going to be from 11 to 3 at Wagner Park.
Wagner Park, 11 till 3.
There's going to be a silent auction.
So bring out your dogs, bring
yep.
out your friends, bring
Yep.
out everybody that loves animals.
Yeah, we're going to have lots of contests for the dogs. We're having the Mr. and Mrs. Tullahoma Canine.
Yeah.
They get announced by either the mayor or one of the aldermen will choose the winner.
So do they dress up?
No, they don't have to dress up. They just bring, just bring your dog out there, and they could be picked. And they will also will attend the Christmas parade this year on a float. Yeah,
so
every year.
Have a float.
Yeah, or we, whether it's not a float or a couple cars they can ride in. But the Mr. and Mrs. Tullahoma Canine get to join us in the Christmas parade.
I love that. And they would have maybe a crown.
Yes, they do. They do get a crown.
They'll get crowned.
They do get a crown.
So clean up your dog, have him all polished or her, and ready to show off and maybe become the queen and king of the dog era. Here.
Yeah, this is our once-a-year fundraiser that does really well for us, and all the money goes. 100% goes towards the dogs for medical purposes. So you encourage people to
come and buy things?
Oh yeah, yeah. We'll have
make
food.
Donations. There'll be food for sale. And this goes on all day.
Yep. There'll be different vendors set up there. A veterinarian, I believe, is also going to be there to give rabies shots and insert microchips, and we're going to have a big bounce barn for the kids.
Microchips. What a good idea that is.
Yes, definitely. Microchips help get dogs home. That's for sure.
Sure, it does.
It's for $10 you can get a microchip.
You can get a microchip chip in your dog.
Yep.
Well, and what are you having for the children? I almost went over that.
Well, we're going to have a big bouncy barn there.
Bouncing barn.
Yeah, for
the kids will have something to do while the dogs have something to do.
That's right.
Look at that face. How can you turn that down? This is Buckley. Buckley really needs a home. And this is the time of year we start talking about weather changes and what animals need. And I know they need plenty of water all the time. And do you feed your dog these dogs twice a day? Or
yeah, we generally feed them twice a day because sometimes there'll be more than one dog in each little run we have. Yeah. We definitely make sure they have enough to go through the night.
And how about fleas and ticks? What's the best thing for?
Well,
fleas and
there's
ticks?
Different things depending on. Make sure your dog's not allergic to anything, but Advanix or things like that usually helps.
Are these things you can get over the counter?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can purchase it at Walmart. I would definitely talk to your vet and find out what
what the best thing is for the weight. You have to know about the weight of the dog. I guess.
Yes, you definitely need to know the weight because that can make a big difference.
Because I would think that fleas and ticks do a number on them.
There's numerous amounts of dogs that start losing hair on their back or on their legs due to flea allergies, and generally they got to get a shot for that.
Buckley has clean ears.
Yes.
I think Buckley's a very healthy dog.
Yeah,
what did you say that dog weighs?
He's probably about 20 pounds.
20 pounds.
Yeah,
and this is about as big as he's going to get.
Yeah, he's not getting any bigger.
So he would be a lap dog, or he would just lay at your feet
and
be a wonderful pet.
Very loving dog.
I do want people to come out for Bark in the Park, and if you can't stay, just throw a $5 or a $25 bill in, if there is one, into the pot, because there's always money needed for the animals in our area.
Yes, it comes in really good handy. I mean, for situations where if we pick up a dog hit by a car, and if it's your dog, you would want us to try to save that dog. I mean, that money.
And that money could go for you as well as for someone else.
Yep.
And how about stray dogs? How many do you say you all pick up?
It varies. It varies. I mean, we've picked up 60 or sometimes 10. Depends on who's running.
And I think there are cases where the animals get scared of a thunderstorm or something and run away. So hopefully people realize they can always check the animal shelter and see if their dog is turned up there.
Just please call.
And
if it's missing, even if we don't have it, that way if somebody does call and say they found it, we can try to get it home.
The saddest thing to me is that anybody would throw an animal away. I mean, I think if you throw an animal away, you throw your child away. That is just not a good thing.
Yeah, they are part of the family.
If you have access to some animals that you just cannot take care of, certainly call the animal shelter.
Definitely.
Are there any other things coming up?
Well, let's see. Applebee's has been having a fundraiser for us.
Applebee's is wonderful.
Yeah, they've been collecting money for us, and they've also been collecting donations like dog food and blankets, things like that. And they're on Monday and Tuesday what they call their car side to go.
Yeah.
I think they're calling it Cars for Paws.
Cars for Paws.
Yeah.
How cute.
And they're donating 15% of all their sales for the car side to go.
Applebee's helps a lot of people in this town.
They're
and
wonderful.
For that, we're very grateful. And look, there's a smile on Buckley's face right now. So call in 9580 and adopt this beautiful dog. Jeremy, thanks.
Well, thank you for having me.
Thanks for everything you do.
No
Thank
problem.
you, Buckley. We'll be back.
Times have changed since Traders Bank first opened our doors in 1889. Back then, online banking meant people were waiting ahead of you. And technology? The word hadn't even been invented yet. Even though banking has transformed over the years, at Traders, one thing has never changed. Friendly smiles, a neighborly hello, and a sincere appreciation for our customers. When a Traders employee says, "You're welcome," you are, and you always will be. Traders Bank, you're welcome. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
These are the children who had no chance. They're known as Brazil's street kids. They wander the streets dying by the thousands from drugs, AIDS, and bullets. Most of them have been abandoned, left to survive on their own. These children needed a place to go. I had to do something. So I brought it up at Rotary. People heard about what we were doing and asked how they could help. Together, we raised funds to give them a home and open the school. They're learning a trade. Now hundreds of kids have a family and a future. They're contributing to the community because Rotary believes in making things better for everyone.
Rotary is making a difference right now.
They have hope.
Rotary gives people an opportunity to help.
Tullahoma, make some noise for your son, Dustin Lynch!
She can hit the friends with a bra every time. And I go fast, she cranks my tractor. She cranks my tractor. Sugar and 5 pounds of side. Lost straight away on the quarter mile drive. Oh, she got a kiss that'll hit you like a heart attack. I got the right, she's got the right, and I go fast, she hollers fast. She's the first one of the hayloft line. Girl like that's what a country boy's after. She cranks my tractor. I go fast. She hollers fast. She's the first one of the hayloft line. Girl like that's what a country boy's after. She cranks my tractor. She cranks my tractor. Y'all ready to party tonight down here at the railroad tracks? Well, let's do it. 1, 2, 3, 4.
So we're here at the 41A Festival, and I have some huge is an understatement, Dustin Lynch fans here. I'm going to let you ladies introduce yourselves.
Abigail Chapman. Morgan Craig. And Katie Chapman.
And where are you ladies from?
We're from Central Illinois. Yeah. Yeah, Illinois. Right in the dead center.
So you came all the way from Central Illinois to see our local hometown boy, Dustin Lynch. Big fans, I'm assuming.
Huge fan, huge.
Now, you were telling me, how many shows now have you been to?
4 shows in 4 months.
Wow. And you guys have been camped out at front, in front of the stage since when?
11 this morning, 11 o'clock. Yeah.
Well, that's saying something for our boy here. He's pretty good, isn't he? He's
wonderful. Very good.
And so, again, 4 times in 4 months?
4 times in 4 months, yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Well, we're so glad to have you here. And
to be here. I'd like to be here.
And we're we're showing you a good time here in Tullahoma.
It's wonderful. We're going to have to start coming back every year. We live here? Yeah. Move here now? We're ready to move here. There you go.
Excellent. We would be more than happy to have you. Well, ladies, again, thank you so much for being here. And I think it's an understatement saying you're looking forward to the show. So.
Definitely. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Absolutely.
That's what we do here, right? This song's about Tullahoma. It's called Last Lap. The hay was bumper to bumper on the town square. Windows rolled down, feel the summer air. We were barked the tires peeling out of there. To make the girls stare, Drive from the Sonic across the railroad track, down to the mall and make your way back. Take a Route 44 coat, pour out hat, make room for Jack, fill it up with Jack anymore. Yeah, we look like kings and queens, cruise the South Jackson Street, riding up in town now, all night, baby, go around, just more the same old sound, making memories of times and ways. This town. Hiving all up in my truck, rolling along, sitting shotgun. Look like a firecracker coming undone. Make your hot jump, jump like. Yeah, we look like kings and queens, cruising South Jackson Street. Town South Jackson Street, riding up in town now all night, and we go around, yeah, just for the same old song, making memories of times we lost. We ran out to one last life around this town. Yeah, we were like kings and queens, cruising South Jackson Street.
Citizens Tri-County Bank has the checking, loans, savings, and traditional banking services you want. Plus free internet banking and bill pay, bank your change, Visa gift card, and lots more state-of-the-art banking services. We focus on the service and services you want. So you can bank when, where, and how you want. At our offices or from just about anywhere. Citizens Tri-County Bank, the only community bank you'll ever need.
This facility was built literally on the international date line to bring Charter customers tomorrow's technology first. Like Charter Internet, which was just made faster again. With speeds up to 100 megs, you can download a movie in 2 minutes. The #1 internet service provider in the nation. Click.
Fogelman, good luck with the presentation tomorrow.
Already nailed it.
Get Charter Internet Express for only $19.99 a month.
Welcome back to Just Plain Living. Manchester's on the scene today. Roger Steele, how nice to have you. Thanks for coming.
You're welcome.
And you're about to kick off the Old Timers Day?
Yes, Friday night, beginning at 6:30, we're going to have a concert by Faith, a local gospel group. They're going to be singing from 6:30 to 9.
Where actually will they be stationed?
We're going to be on the square in Manchester, right around the courthouse.
So they'll be set up.
Right,
Music
we'll have
will
a stage
start at 6 o'clock. And what else is happening?
On Saturday, we're having a parade at 10 o'clock, but 9:30, we're going to have Amanda Woods. She's going to be, she'll be doing the national anthem, and she'll be singing until about 11:30, and then we'll have music off and on all day.
Okay.
And then
you have vendors all around the square?
We have lots of vendors around with lots of good food.
So you don't need to eat before you
That's
come.
right.
You can find something to eat right there on the square.
Right, and there's a horseshoe tournament at 11 o'clock, so if you want to sign up for that, there's lots of good money to win for that, $400.
Fantastic. $400 to play horseshoes?
Yes. And
or the
then,
winner?
Right, for the winner. And then
That's
we have
wonderful.
the breeze pole and all the old games back, and an ice
Yeah.
cream eating contest also.
And you encourage people to dress the part, I'll bet.
That's right, because we're going to be picking little Mr. and Miss Old Timer, and then
Cute.
Mr. and Miss Old Timer out of the crowd
And
Saturday
what time
morning.
of the day will that happen? Will
We're
that
gonna-
be during the parade? Or
No, we're
just-
going to do it before the parade so they can
So
be
they
in
can
the
actually
parade.
be a part
Right.
of the
So if they
parade.
come up there between 7 and 9 Saturday morning, dress the part.
Are y'all still taking entries for the parade?
Oh no, we're full.
that's way
yeah.
done. You're full.
We have we've got
How
over
good.
50 entries, and we've got everything from Boy Scouts to horses. This is the first year we've had
Have
horses
wagons
back.
and old-timey things?
Yes,
chuck
mule wagons and
love
miniature
that.
ponies.
I
and
love mules.
It's going to be fun to watch, and just want to remind everybody they can't throw candy, but they can hand candy out.
They can hand candy. I know we got into that at our Christmas parade because people got hit.
Right,
But
right.
you can always hand it out, and that's fine.
Yeah, one of the questions that people were asking, are we going to have any kind of pageants that day? And we're not going to have any. We're going the older theme, so we didn't want to
You didn't
dress
want
up.
to dress up. You want to change
Right,
it. You
we
want
want
to keep
the older,
it traditional.
Right.
I love that.
So we've got a lot of the old music that's going to be there, the banjos and pickin', and then Saturday night we have a concert from 6 to 10.
And who will be doing that?
Mike Oldham and the Tone Rangers.
Are
and
they
they're
a
from
local
Nashville.
group?
They're
No,
from
they're
Nashville.
from Nashville.
We
And
got
what
them.
sort of music do they
They play older country, older rock and roll, but they played at the Dogwood Festival in Winchester for them.
Yeah,
So that's where I saw them. And
So
we
that'll
got
bring a big crowd.
Yeah, they're going to bring a
I
crowd.
think the weather's supposed to be fairly nice.
It's going to be around 75, I believe.
Yeah, you
really
can't beat
nice.
that.
Rotary Chicken, they always do a really good job cooking their chicken, so they're going to be selling chicken.
And that will benefit the Rotary
Club. Lots of...
as well as you that's
right.
eating.
That's right. We have Boy Scouts that's going to be doing fundraisers. We have
Girl Scouts.
Girl
probably.
Scouts, all the people from the high school, the softball teams, and the Skills USA. We're having lots of people that are raising money that day as fundraisers, so it's a great way for them.
It's a great opportunity to get out and share in the community and what goes on and help support these different causes.
Yeah,
that
and just see lots
need
of
money.
people.
Just have fun.
Right. And there'll be lots of people walking around and plenty to do. And there's we have 80 vendors or 80 vendor spots
That's
sold.
amazing.
And most of those are like craft vendors and soaps and stuff like that.
Right.
So that they made themselves.
So bring some money and get
Bring some
prepared
money.
to buy some Christmas gifts.
And
Great time for
we
that.
made it affordable where you can stay all day. We're going to put tables and chairs out in the middle so you can sit and eat
Oh, how
and
good.
listen to the music. And
Well, every time I've been to something like that in Manchester, I've noticed that the food is never that expensive. You
Right.
can get your fill of really good things to eat for a fair price.
Right, and we didn't charge a lot for the vendors, so we wanted to make sure that they didn't charge $8 for a hot dog
Right.
and stuff like that. So,
It's
but
in a good price range.
this is the first one we've had since 2007.
Oh, okay.
So we, as a group, brought it back. We've been working on this for over a year.
So you're obviously the chairman.
I'm the chairman
And I
of
know you
Manchester
have a
Old Timers
committee of
Day.
people that have
Mhm.
helped you.
We do, and we've been raising money, doing lots of fundraisers, getting people behind us again.
And you probably have some sponsors. I don't know if you want to mention them
We
all.
do.
You
We've
may
got
not be able to remember.
we've got one corporate sponsor, Nationwide Insurance, Nunley Insurance in Manchester.
Nationwide
and,
Insurance.
Prescott Bottling has been very helpful, and Cheryl Pest Control.
Wonderful.
All of those have been very helpful with us, and I encourage anybody that sells drinks this weekend to sell the Prescott Sundrop products. That would be great.
Because they have been so kind as to
Right,
give you.
and they're local, and everybody associates Manchester and Old Timers Day and Sundrop, and
I
it's
think
just been
that
around.
everybody in this region and all these Middle Tennessee counties need to support local companies, local events, local businesses.
Yeah, local charities.
Exactly.
All of our charities are going to be there. We're going to have one area where you can sit in a police car. You can get up on a fire truck. There's going to be a race car there for kids.
Good.
We have a petting zoo that's free all day long.
Petting zoo. What
Yes.
else in the petting zoo?
I
Do you
know.
have a goat? I hope there's going to be a
lots.
goat.
There's lots of baby goats, and there's
Okay.
usually a camel, baby camel, and there was a porcupine. I saw a
You're
porcupine.
kidding
You can see the porcupine, and then right beside it there's a grease pole that you can climb that benefits the Humane Society.
A
So-
greased pole.
Yes, if you get to the top
You
of the
gotta
grease
climb
pole,
it.
there's
What
a
happens?
there's a $50 bill at the top. If you can get that, if you can get to the top and get that, there's $50 for you.
Now we're not talking pole dancers here.
No,
we are
this is-
talking climbing the grease pole.
This is actually a
But
grease.
For $50, that's worth a try. Isn't
That's
it?
right, and Humane Society is going to be raising money. They get all of that money.
That's
so
wonderful.
please come and help them. And we're trying to encourage everybody. But there's also a ghost tour, a
I know
cemetery
that
tour.
is in the evening on
That's right, from
Saturday?
5:30. Yes, Saturday from 5:30 to 8:30, I believe, and that benefits the Historical Society. So we're all trying to partner together and help each other on this day.
I can't remember everybody that's being honored, but Joe Frank Patch is one of the
Yes.
one of the ones
Right.
that was my principal when I was in high school at Coffee County High School. So he was an interesting individual.
Well, speaking of honor, and we have an honorary Grand Marshal. Her name is Bertha Ashley. She's a 104-year-old educator, and she's
That
still
is
living in
wonderful.
Manchester.
Bertha Ashley, congratulations,
And
Bertha.
she's not going to be in the parade, but we have made a big picture, and we're going to honor her. And our Grand Marshal is Jason Petty. He goes around.
Jason is the man.
That's right.
We
He
all
goes
love
around
Jason.
looking like Hank Williams
Yeah.
and acting like Hank Williams, and he's a good friend of mine. We all went to school together, so we thought that would be a perfect fit for us,
That
bringing
is-
it back.
That is great.
So he'll be up there selling his wares, his CDs, and everything
His
too.
CD. He performed for us recently over
Yeah,
here. and
South Jackson, he was
We're
there.
extremely proud of Jason and all the work he's done. And we're proud of you. Is this the first time you've chaired the event?
This is the first time I've chaired.
Well,
Yes.
it sounds to me like you've done an awesome job.
Well, we have a great group of people that's dedicated to bringing the history back to the city of Manchester, right around the courthouse. And, you know, our courthouse is our selling piece for Manchester because, you know, not everybody has a courthouse,
Not
and ours
everybody
is
has
beautiful.
It is a beautiful courthouse, and
We're trying to bring downtown, you know, everything back downtown.
keep it downtown and keep it vital in the community because it's so pretty.
Right, 'cause
All right, last minute words.
I was just going to tell you that the ice cream eating contest begins at 4 o'clock.
I will be there. I
there
love
will be
ice cream.
2 kids categories and 1 adult category, so bring your appetites and please come out.
Does that mean who eats the most ice cream?
It's going to be the fastest, I believe.
Oh, okay.
So,
That's a little better.
That's right. We don't want to get anybody sick, but for the kids, it's going to be exciting for all that. So, and just remember that By Faith is Friday night at 6:30 on the square in Manchester, and it's a free concert also.
Basically, everything's free. But we
Everything's
do
free,
hope
but
you
the
will come and
vendors
spend
and
all your money
donate.
and donate and help support all these causes.
That's right, and we'll be selling our shirts and wristbands and everything.
Fantastic.
So, thank you very
Roger,
much.
so nice
thank you
to
for
meet
having me.
you, and thank you for coming, and good
Thank
luck
you.
with Old Timers Day.
And we'll see
be
you
back.
Saturday, Friday
All
and
right.
Saturday.
I went to several colleges, but when I stepped into this gym, it just felt like home.
Just learning the different techniques and the way Mr. Bryan tells us how to study the subject. Art, that's where it's really at for me.
I decided to go to nursing because I've always wanted to help people. You make those connections that you probably never forget. This is my motto, my future.
I'm Marley Matlin for the American Red Cross. In an emergency, infants and children can't always tell you what's wrong. Being able to read critical signs and knowing how to respond can make all the difference. The Red Cross offers infant and child CPR training, where you can learn how to recognize and respond to respiratory and cardiac emergencies. Visit www.redcross.org or call 1-800-HELP-NOW. Together, we can save a life.
Waiting around for things other people get right away just doesn't make much sense. Get high-speed Charter internet and enjoy downloads way faster than DSL.
Welcome back, folks. And as you know, particularly since we've shown that video of Dustin Lynch there a little bit earlier today, the big event in Tullahoma, or one of the big events in Tullahoma this past weekend, was the 41A Music Festival, which featured lots and lots of local talent. And 2 of the headliners in that group have kind of made it big, but they also have local roots. One of those was the band Pop Rocks, who features Valerie Buckner. We've got some video from that we'd like to show you right now.
It is said that the eyes are the windows to the soul, and the Eye Care Center wants to make your eyes the best windows possible. The professionals at the Eye Care Center have been offering comprehensive eye care for over 30 years. From eye examinations to eye surgery, from children to seniors, we have the services you need. We pride ourselves on taking the time to fully understand our patients' wants and needs. Each patient is a unique situation and deserves our full attention and the latest treatment options. So call or stop by one of our 4 convenient locations and start seeing better today.
Hello, this is J.D. Oliver from the Smokehouse on Mount Eagle Mountain. Me and my sisters Nancy and Betsy would like to thank you all for your continued support. This year we're celebrating our 50-year anniversary at the Smokehouse. In conjunction with our 50-year celebration, we are bringing Music on the Mountain every Saturday night, 7 p.m. till 10 p.m., featuring the best of Nashville. We have had some wonderful singers, hit songwriters, and Nashville's rising stars have taken the stage. Come out this Saturday night and every Saturday night through the end of the year. Make it a date night or bring the whole family. Help us celebrate 50 years in the community. Music on the Mountain is free every Saturday night at Jim Oliver Smokehouse.
Hey, this is Sean Mayer. I'd like to invite everybody out to the Smokehouse every Saturday night for great music and awesome food.
Thank you very much, y'all.
Some people think that pressing their on-demand button will cost money or make their house explode or something. Of course, neither of these things is true. On-demand is just a way to access thousands of free movies and TV shows. The code to blow up a house is actually channel up, channel down, 2*, 77.
On demand, thousands of free movies and TV shows on your schedule, and nothing bad.
Lucky me. Lucky me. For all you guys out there, lucky me. Look who I have with me right here. This is Miss Caitlin Olive, who is the homecoming queen at Tullahoma High School this year, and this is her court. Caitlin, would you introduce your court?
Sure. This is the senior attendant, Nicola Maddie. This is the junior attendant, Rachel Spiegel. This is the freshman attendant, Aaron Sisko. And this is the sophomore attendant, Juliana Dykes.
Lucky me. Just how exciting is all of this, girls?
It's super exciting.
It's super exciting.
Yes.
Was it fun?
It was so much fun.
The cars. Did you?
I love riding
The cars are nice, aren't they?
Yes. I wish I had one. I'd like to drive it.
What we're going to do is we're going to show you the girls in the cars right now. Then we'll come back and visit a little bit more. And anybody who wants to can talk right now about what's going on. Who are these guys? Lucky them.
These are our escorts. They're all class officers or student body officers.
And can you name them off right quick? Just call names.
Reed Gabriel, Dean Blanks, Clay Daniel, Brock Collier, and Grant Rigney.
Very good. You did well.
Thank you.
Who's this good-looking girl here?
This is Erin.
What about it, Erin?
It was fun.
It was fun. I bet. Who we got? Who's coming up next? Where is she? There she is. Really nervous. Look at that smile. That's not a nervous smile. That's a I'm having fun smile. I want this car.
I want my car. Here's Rachel.
There comes Rachel.
Why am I meeting so slow?
Next time your
I
mom
didn't know whether I
come
should
on.
wave. I didn't either. They didn't really tell us what to do on the car ride.
Did anyone give you any instructions on all of that stuff, or did y'all just hop up in there and go for
Crabtree
it?
said to keep your shoulders back.
Yes.
That was her only instructions.
It's really hard to do that. She's like,
Look at that wave. That's that wave. Got it down.
Excited. Where's you?
Got your hair. There it is. Got your hair puffed up too, didn't you?
Yeah.
That was a first. Looks good.
Thank you. Here comes Katie. I love that car.
That's a great car, isn't it?
Jared enjoyed it.
Who's that guy driving that thing?
My brother, Jared.
Your brother got his shades on, huh?
I know. He really liked that car.
Yeah. And who are the two young people?
That's Brinley Duncan and Peyton Barendorf.
And
Brinley is Miss Duncan's daughter, and Peyton is the new basketball coach's son.
Well, and what were their duties?
Peyton carried my crown, and Brinley looked pretty.
You can't beat that. You can't beat that. Give us, girls, just give us a little bit of, like what went on during homecoming week. Tell us about some of the activities, and stress.
We had a lot of dance practices.
Yeah, we had to do a dance in front of the school during the pep rally.
Oh.
But we had dress-up days throughout the week. Like Monday was Mine Monday, and Tuesday was Atomic Tuesday. Wednesday was War of the Worlds Wednesday. Thursday was Thriller Thursday, and Friday was Blackout Friday.
Blackout Friday. So you had. What kind of costume did you pick? A day, first day. What did you wear? How did you dress?
I had on like a Mayan printed dress with boots, and my hair was braided.
Braided. And second day.
On Atomic Tuesday, I wore like a crossing guard neon jacket and a bunch of glow-in-the-dark sticks and everything.
Okay. Wednesday.
War of the Worlds.
I did not dress up for that.
You didn't dress up for.
Of course, I didn't dress up for that. No, I did not have anything to go with that day.
Okay.
It was hard. The days were very hard to do.
Okay. And then Thursday.
I don't remember what I wore. Thriller Thursday. I don't
Thriller.
remember what I wore on Thursday. I don't even think I dressed.
Okay. And Friday.
I wore black. That was the easiest.
That was the day, huh?
Yeah.
Well, girls, it's a great honor that you were picked by your peers to have this bestowed upon you. All very well deserved, I am sure. And what was your favorite thing about homecoming week?
Oh, probably intramurals.
Intramurals?
Really? Yeah.
And that was what? That was like a powder puff football or something like that?
Yeah, we had, on Wednesday we had volleyball intramurals, which only guys can play, but I got to coach, and my team won.
All right.
Then on Thursday was powder puff.
Okay. Your favorite thing?
My favorite thing was probably just the practice that we all had together, getting ready for the Friday pep rally.
Okay.
Sorry.
And?
Yeah, that was mine.
Okay.
That was mine too. Probably dancing with Nicola in front of the band.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's great. Well, girls, we're proud of you. We appreciate all the things you do down there at the high school, because obviously you're very involved and very bright and very lovely. There's no doubt about that. We're proud of all of you, and you just keep it up. Keep it going. Keep that smile. Keep that spirit, and have that fun. Okay? Oh, what about the kiss?
He just kissed me on the cheek.
What
it was cute.
What a neat.
Cute.
Huh? Was it cute?
Yes.
When I played football, I got hurt, and I was the student council president, and Melissa Stepp was the homecoming queen, and I kissed her when I gave her the crown, and then I kissed her again when I gave her the flower. So I figured if I couldn't play football, I was going to get something out of this deal. So I put a double kiss on the queen. See, you got out easy, girl. Got out easy. Thank you, girls, for being with us. Now, you realize that anytime you come to television, you get the rest of the day off from school.
Sounds good to me.
So, no, you probably better do that. Thank you. Good luck to all of you, and have a good rest of the year.
Thank you.
We'll be right back after these messages. There we go.
Serving you as a local firefighter.
Proudly served our country in the United States Air Force.
Serving Tullahoma.
Helping our kids.
Hi, I'm Terry Stroop. Your comfort is our service. We'd like to thank Tullahoma for the privilege of serving your heating and cooling needs.
How can toys like these lead to a 6-year-old's death and leave another child permanently brain damaged? Because they're not toys at all. A safety message from your local fire department and this station.
Oh, there's my cat. Should I put her away?
Lighten it up a little bit.
How's this? Great.
Good. There we go.
So you've been meaning to do something healthy, commune with nature, get outdoors, and meet new people. We have the perfect solution. Come hike with us. You can find a Tennessee Trails Association chapter near you, including Clarksville, Columbia Franklin, Cove Lake, Highland Rim, Jackson, Knoxville, Oak Ridge, Martin Weekly, Memphis, Murfreesboro, Nashville, Plateau at Crossville, Rugby in the Big South Fork, and Upper Cumberland. We're on the web at TennesseeTrails.org. It's fun, it's stress-free, and it's good for you. See you on the trails.
Ladies and gentlemen, and we're pleased to have joining us now on the set Josh Kirkendall, who is with the Tennessee Parks and Recreation Department.
Yes, sir, at Timms Ford State Park in Winchester.
So you're assigned to that park, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. You guys, I know I've got a big event coming up called Timms Ford Heritage Day Festival coming up in about a week.
Right.
Okay. Tell us a little bit about that event.
It's going to be at the park at the Recreation Building. It starts at 11 o'clock, and this is going to be on October 13th, so just a little bit longer than a week, almost 2 weeks. And it's actually probably going to be one of the biggest festivals that we've had at the park in its history. We've done this festival this will be the 5th year now, but this is the biggest time that we've had it, and this is the first time that we're actually bringing in a lot of outside people to kind of come and help out with it. We have a lot of local demonstrators and craft makers that are coming to kind of give us a hand and give the public a little bit better experience.
I see. And when we're talking about heritage, I guess a lot of this has to do with the area before the park was created. Is that
right? The park was created in 1978, and before that, there was several communities along the Elk River that were flooded out whenever the TVA dammed the Elk River and created the Timms Ford Reservoir. So a lot of those communities were destroyed or displaced. So telling their story is something that we want to do it, and we want to do it right and kind of do justice by them, and not only make their history known, but also kind of celebrate that history as well.
I see. Yeah, I guess it's kind of hard for a lot of us to remember, because it's been there for a while now, that there was actually a thriving community. Of course, not as big as Tullahoma or some of the other communities, but there were people that lived there. That was their home along the Elk River there.
Right.
So you've got you've done these kind of events before, but just not on the scale. Is that correct?
Right. Typically in the past, what we've done is just had some music and some hay rides and things like that. But this year, we have a lot of people coming in. We have some Civil War demonstrators that are coming in, and they'll be demonstrating for most of the day. They'll have sort of a presentation on, I guess, the history of the whole Civil War, and then they'll have a medical person who will be able to kind of demonstrate what a medical surgeon would have done during the Civil War. And they'll have a lot of flags that they'll talk about and what those different types of flags actually meant. And they'll actually have some artillery there and be firing off some cannons and some guns and things like that. So
a medical surgeon during the Civil War, I can imagine that would be a tough job.
I think so.
Have you read about that kind of thing?
Here and there, and I've actually been fortunate enough to see a few people demonstrate that, and it's some pretty crude things that they had to do.
Can you tell us a little bit, maybe just a hint of how that works?
I guess with the medical things that they just obviously were not very far advanced medically and
Right.
weren't very familiar with sterilization and things like that, and so they'll be talking a little bit about that and some of the tools and instruments that they might have used.
Yeah, okay. Some of you may find it that really interesting. Some of you may not have the stomach for
Right.
that. But I noticed some pictures that here on your flyer that you gave us here, and is that some of the people that might have lived there?
It is. The state park, Timms Ford State Park, was actually named for the Timms family, and it was where they would cross the river on the Elk River. So it was where they would ford the river, so that's where the park gets its name, from the Timms Ford. And I think that there might actually be some children in that photograph that have the last name Timms.
Okay, and these folks probably are still living, some of them maybe.
I'd say so, some of them are probably still.
Okay, unbelievable. Now, the lake was created, what, like 1970? Right, okay. And the park in 1978. So a lot of history there to be kind of rehashed, and it's a neat thing you guys are doing it that way. So.
And this festival is also in conjunction with 34 years of Timms Ford State Park, and also 75 years of Tennessee State Parks as a whole, going all the way back to 1937.
Right. Okay.
So kind of a big celebration. In addition to the Civil War demonstrators, we're also having a lot of craft makers. There'll be people demonstrating how to make those crafts as well. For example, we'll have some basket weavers there that are going to be weaving baskets all day long. Some people that are working with leather that'll be there. Some wood carvers. There'll actually be a beekeeper there, and he'll actually be able to sell some of his honey and things like that, and just kind of demonstrate all the things that they do that goes into making that craft as well.
Right. Who kind of planned this and put this together?
That's been kind of fell on the park as a whole. We had a college student who worked a lot with us this summer, and she sort of kind of got the ball rolling for us a little bit, and then after that, just all of the park as a whole just kind of came together and helped out a lot with it, and made contacts with people, and everyone's kind of thrown around ideas and bounced those off of each other, and it's kind of, hopefully everything will work out just fine with that.
You know, it's pretty neat that you're actually heading that up, or a part of that, because I bet you weren't even born when that lake was.
Not at all.
I was kind of thinking.
I probably wasn't even thought of whenever the lake was created.
So you've probably spent a lot of time studying the heritage of that area.
Right.
I mean, not,
and that's one of the things that all of the park rangers out there, we've been kind of focusing on, because I think it was last year that we actually got a history display that will actually be displayed at the festival. And that's sort of what sort of kick-started this whole thing, is kind of putting together that display and sort of learning the history, because it is a really unique and really interesting thing to learn about.
Okay. So, again, that's coming up on October 13th, so you folks kind of need to be thinking about attending that event, because it sounds really like it's going to be interesting. You mentioned that all of the park rangers out there so there's more than just you that are...
Right, there's 4 of us and the park manager, and there's also lots of other staff that have kind of helped out with this whole thing, so it really has been a collective effort on all the park staff's behalf.
What is it like being a park ranger out there? I mean, what are some of your responsibilities?
It's probably one of the best jobs, I think, that someone could have, because no 2 days are the same. You get to do a lot of different things. You get to wear a lot of different hats. Obviously, from the duty belt, we're law enforcement park rangers, but we also are naturalists, and we get to do a lot of programs for children and talk about some wildlife, things like that. We get to be firemen sometimes. We get to do medical responses sometimes. So really, no 2 days are the same, and it's just always exciting. You never know what's going to happen the next day.
So, what motivated you to get into this kind of work?
I actually started when I was still in college. I started work as a seasonal, and after that first summer as a seasonal, I made the decision that this is what I wanted to do. I had a lot of fun that summer, and after that, I just decided to keep pursuing it as a full-time career.
Yeah, and apparently you really enjoy that.
I do.
Yeah. Okay. So you say there are 4 rangers there at the park, and there are, and plus a manager, a park manager.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
And then there's several office staff, and there's obviously a maintenance staff and the custodial staff for the cabins. And, lots and lots of people that work out there. Lots of really good people that work out there.
So you get a lot of visitors that come through the park every year?
We do. I think that this past year we've had was the highest record that we had, and we had over 1 million last year that came through.
Oh
the
my
park.
goodness, 1 million visitors coming through Timms Ford Park.
So a lot of people, it's becoming one of the more popular parks, and I guess that does have a lot to do with the lake. There's lots of opportunities for recreation and lots of hiking trails out there, and over 100 campsites. So there's so much for people to do, and I think that's just sort of drawing people in.
Are those visitors typically not from here, or a lot of them from this area?
A lot of them are from this area. I don't know the statistics on how many are from here and how many are from out of town, but we get a lot of local visitors, and we get a lot of people from out of town that drive a significant way to get down to see us.
And do I recall you also have a swimming pool there too?
We do, and that's closed right now. It's getting a little cool,
obviously,
but that's open during May through August, and so a lot of fun things to do in the summer as well.
Okay, well this is a great event, and I assume that again coming up on Saturday, October the 13th, and so I assume anyone can come to this.
Oh yeah, it's free. Starts at 11 o'clock. It'll be going all day long, and just until people start to go home until we'll be there.
Okay, all right. So make plans to do that. You can learn a lot of it about the heritage of Timms Ford State Park and that area, which I find very interesting. As I mentioned at the start of this interview, there were people that actually lived in that area. That was their home, and as you mentioned also that they were displaced when the lake was filled. So, and most of that's happened in our lifetime. Obviously, I'm a lot older than you, but anyway, so make plans to attend that. That's on Saturday, October the 13th. Starts at 11 o'clock and lasts all day. Thank you so much for coming by here today. I appreciate it very much. We'll be right back in just a moment, folks. We're right after these messages.
Hold on. You've got to hear this. I know. How'd I get so lucky?
Every call can be great when you're saving 35% or more. Join the millions who are already saving with Charter Phone.
Smoking tobacco accounts for 3 of every 10 fire deaths in the United States.
Tullahoma Fire Department. Need you en route to a structure fire, 202 Main Street. Heavy smoke showing. Neighbors advise child trapped inside.
Lighters, matches, and associated smoking paraphernalia are the leading cause of preschooler fire deaths. We as firefighters know that most structure fires can be prevented.
I've got one! Command, this is primary search. We have a victim. Need EMS to meet us at the front door.
Please help us to give you a fighting chance. This can be prevented. Contact the Tullahoma Fire Department for a free home safety inspection.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back, and this past week, the Tullahoma Fine Arts Center had their annual membership meeting, and the great things are happening over there, and we're going to bring you a little bit of video about that.
This is the annual meeting that we have on the last Thursday of every September. Over the last year, we've had a lot of changes, good changes, not only structurally, but I think internally as well. And part of that has transpired in our board meetings, which have caused them to go from 3 hours to 45 minutes. And as a result of that, we're going to get going on this immediately. First order on the agenda is going to be the treasurer's report.
Those of you who don't know me, I'm Ressa Hansen, and this is our treasurer's report. I am glad to say we have weathered our storm. As of today, compared to a year ago, we have increased our cash assets by 208%. with over $10,000 in cash in the bank right now. We have less than $1,200 in unpaid obligations, and about half of that is payroll taxes. We've been reimbursed for a significant portion of the monies lost in 2010 and 2011, and the balance of our losses, we've worked out a deal will be coming to us in a restitution plan, so the copies have information on this. In April, we hired Annie, and by May, our income was dramatically increased through a combination of things. Number one, an influx of new members. Number two, new shows and events, new class offerings, and a renewed effort to solicit corporate contributions. As we have recouped our loss and then some so far this year. On August 27th of 2011, we were showing a loss of $7,435.84. Today, August 27th, 2012, we are showing a profit of $1,036.36. 749.84, reflecting an 1821.23 loss. Any questions? Well, with that, I respectfully submit the treasurer's report.
Next, Anita, membership report.
Hi, I'm Anita Zaccardi, and it's been my pleasure to be membership chairman this past year. And we started with very little hardcore information, but we had, we think, 95 actual members last September, and we have grown to 396. Starting out in September, and just below 100 members, we had kind of a leveling off in the winter. And then I started purging the ones who just were not responding to their renewal notices. That's a dip down. And then we hired Andy. Zip, 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 zip up. And then we hired Katie. And it kept going, kept going, kept going. And we are just shy of the 400 mark now. And people are excited. They're glad to be back here. And I just can't thank Annie enough, I can't thank Katie enough to do such a lot of work. And they have such youthful vigor, and that's what this place really, really needed.
And this place has really expanded, membership's expanded. We've got a new paint job. But from my point of view, we're in a heck of a lot better spot than we were a year ago. And that's your president's report. We just couldn't do a board for everybody, but this is something that I decided to do, and Anita, you and your husband, Vince, both, we wanted to make y'all the first, and hopefully this will not go into a closet in the next 5 years. Keep it out front for member of the year, and that's for you.
Thank you.
We're here tonight for election, mainly to let everybody know where we stand, financial, membership-wise, what we feel needs to be presented by the treasurer and the membership in regard to our money and our membership. But we have 2 board openings to replace Jenny Lou and me. And so at this point in time, take a nomination for the floor for board members. Both.
I nominate Garth Seagrove.
Okay.
I second.
Okay. Second.
Claudia Baker.
Are you the
second? I'm the second.
She said. I'll accept.
I'd like to nominate Shane Woodward, please.
Shane Woodward, would you accept?
I second.
Bowling seconds. Anybody else in the crowd? So I'm going to close the nominations at this point. Any objection from the members?
No. I'd like to move that we accept the nominations as elected by acclamation.
That's what you do now. Second. All right. Congratulations, Shane.
Thank you.
And congratulations.
New board members elected to the Towanda Fine Arts Center Board for a 3-year term.
Look around, the changes catch your eye, and you come to realize one can make a difference. Since 1915, Kiwanis International has touched millions of lives. When you help one child, you help the world. But one can make a difference.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back, and I'm excited today because I have a dear friend, a very talented lady with me, and that's Valerie Smith. And Valerie is doing a show this weekend, 2 shows, well, a show at South Jackson Civic Center on Saturday night, but on Friday, she is doing educational outreach.
Yes, something that I'm very passionate about. I've been doing it for years. I'm one of the official lifetime members of the International Bluegrass Music Museum and ambassadors, and I've done several schools throughout the years to teach about the history of bluegrass, but also teach about knowledge about acoustic music and the instruments. And I bring a whole group of people with me that are top players, whether they're from Belmont or whether they're just extremely good. And they help me teach the kids these primary goals of the history of our American music, which is bluegrass, and also Americana music, and about the instruments. And it's a really fast, dry, moving show, and the kids have always had such a good time. I've even taught it in Germany. They like it in Germany, and they usually I have to have an interpreter standing next to me, but it was quite an experience. But I've been from Florida to Limestone Learning up in Canada, did all of their schools, and now I get to do it right in my own backyard. I live in Bell Buckle, and I get to come to Tullahoma, and I get to teach kids here in Winchester, Tennessee. I get to go there, and I'm very excited about the outreach program, and so glad that that I'm being used for that this year.
Well, you were telling me about the Hall of Fame, or they make sure that if someone wants to learn how to play acoustically, that
they get an instrument.
They get an instrument and instruction.
Yep. They do.
And that's
People
pretty
don't know
amazing,
that.
isn't it?
It is amazing. The Music Museum, the Bluegrass, is Owensboro, Tennessee. But they do great things. They have over 400 students in that program. And they have a big festival called Romp every year. And you see all of these people with matching T-shirts that go there to learn to play instruments. And it's young to whatever age. It doesn't matter how old you are, how young you are, they'll teach you. And it's just a fantastic program. And I fell in love with it years ago when it started off small, and it's just exploded over the years. And they've allowed me to go around and inspire kids.
Be their
inspire them. Yes, I've been able to inspire throughout the years that program, and that's just been an honor. I just can't believe it. And every year I do a thing called Dare to Be Different to raise money for it, and just got done with that last Sunday in Bell Buckle. And I'm here now to promote some more things, but Tullahoma's going to let me bring it right here in town.
So what about Valerie Smith?
What about Valerie Smith?
Well, Valerie Smith. How many CDs have you released?
I only have 9 CDs. I'm not
only 9.
Yeah. Well, if you think about, the people that I know that I used to know, they had them all over their walls, because I grew up, kind of singing and writing and learning from people like Charlie Louvin and Waylon Jennings and Jesse Coulter and Johnny Cash and Tom T. Hall, and you go to their house and it's just, they could make wallpaper out of their albums. So I'm humbled by that. But I'm actually, after the show today, I'm going to be in the studio all day and working on my 10th or 11th album. I'm not sure, but that one's going to be more Americana country, and I'm very excited. Some of them are songs that I wrote. Some of them are songs that I found in the catalogs of singers that I've studied, like Glenn Campbell and stuff, that I've rearranged. And it's a very exciting album for me. And been writing a book called The Potato Cellar, which is C-L-L, not the S-E-L-L, because I grew up on a farm that had a potato cellar, and it's a book of memoirs and ideas, almost short essays, and there'll be songs that I write or co-write that go with that book, and I'm hoping to have that out in 2014. But right now I'm in a constant state of just getting things done, and also working. I own Bell Buckle Records with J. Gregory Heineke from the Bell Buckle Cafe for 15 years. And we're working on releasing a new artist this year on Bell Buckle Records, Tim Daly, which you are a big part of that project. And so my plate has been full. It's been full, but it's going to be a great fall. And I hope Christmas doesn't pass me by, that I don't get to enjoy it and see it. But
it won't.
You know,
it won't. What about last year? You had a big deal. Blame It on the Bluegrass. Made it what, to number 2?
Well, it stayed on the charts at number 2. It never inched up to number 1, but it did stay at number 2 for about. It was just a fluke thing. I released it a little over a year, maybe 2 years ago. I never pay attention to my release. It was actually 1/11/11. That's when the official release date was, and it popped up. I thought it would just be on the bluegrass charts, but it went across the board from bluegrass to roots to country to Americana to, and I couldn't believe it was like across the board at number 2 like that. Probably the first thing I've ever recorded that did that. And had a lot of fun with that. Going on a tour next year to Europe because of that project. It's about a 2-month tour, and I've been blessed, and we'll see what these next albums do. Yeah. If anything, if I have enough energy to mail them out and do what you're supposed to do to promote them.
Well, what we want you people out there to realize is all of this talent, all of this fun, years of experience, underwritten by the Hall of Fame. Valerie Smith is going to be at South Jackson Civic Center this Saturday night for a show with her band Liberty Pike at 7:30. You can buy tickets at 455-5321, or just show up down there and get them at the door. And let me tell you what, you will be entertained. Don't think now, oh, I hear bluegrass all the time. This is not this ain't your papa and grandpa and grandma's bluegrass and Americana. This is some sure enough entertainment, folks. We're going to give you just a little touch of it right now. Valerie, give us a little taste, would you?
Okay. You want me to sing right now?
Sing.
Okay. Well, I'll give a little something. Here's a song I wrote. Hand me down clothes, hand me down shoes. I can't give you anything new. I'm not a rich girl. Here's what I'll do. I'll take this old heart and I'll hand it down to you. Oh, hand me down clothes, hand me down shoes. I can't give you anything new. I'm not a rich girl. Here's what I'll do. I'll take this old heart and I'll hand it down to you.
All right. Hand-me-downs, hand-me-downs.
Hand-me-downs.
I tell you what we want to do. We're going to take a minute right now and show you just a little bit. We forgot the video on the
school show.
On the school show, so we're going to show you just a little bit of that, and let's see what these kids are going to find out. All right, so that's kids. That's acoustic music. That's Valerie Smith. We got to go, Val. We're going to wave goodbye to these folks. We will see you at South Jackson Civic Center Saturday night, 7:30. Valerie Smith and Liberty Pike.